everyone. So today I am with the questions on income and cross price elasticities of demand. Okay, to start with, the first question. If a 10% increase in the price of good X increases the demand of Y by 5%, right? So that basically means a 10% increase in the price of good X increases the demand for good Y by 5%, then X and Y are what? Are they complements with EYX, that is cross price elasticity of 2. They are complements with cross price elasticity being half. They are substitutes with cross price elasticity being half. Or they are substitutes with cross price elasticity being 2, or they are inferior goods. Okay, so if we go back to the formula, right, we have of cross price elasticity of demand, then it's basically percentage change in quantity demanded for Y divided by percentage change in quantity demanded for X, right? So it's given that there is a 10% increase in the price of good X. Sorry. So it's, I'm so sorry. So it's the cross price elasticity for X and Y good is given by percentage change in quantity demanded for Y divided by percentage change in price of X, right? So it's given that there's a 10% increase in the price of good X and the quantity demanded increases by 5%, right? So it's like half if I do the cancellations, and since it's positive, so the two goods are substitutes. That's the first question. Substitutes, right? So the answer is basically substitutes with your cross price elasticity of half. Right? That's your answer. Okay. Second question. The cross price elasticity of demand for coffee and creamer is likely to be positive because they are substitutes, positive because they are complements, negative because they are substitutes, negative because they are complements, positive because they are normal goods. So since we are talking of cross price elasticity of demand for coffee and creamer, so we can just see the relationship. Let's say if the price of coffee, so C is for your coffee, let's say the price of coffee increases, what happens to the demand for coffee? It goes down. Since the demand for coffee goes down, what happens to the demand for creamer? Since creamer is used in coffee, so your demand for creamer also goes down, right? So that's the relationship between the price of the coffee and the demand for the creamer. So there's a negative relationship. So if the price increases, the demand for creamer goes down, and the opposite will happen. If there's a decrease in the price of coffee, then the demand for creamer will increase, right? So there's a negative relationship. Negative relationship talking about two goods, so we are in cross price elasticity being negative, that is they are complements, right? So your answer is this fourth one. Okay, your question number third. Radhika purchases fewer boxes of cookies when her income falls. Cookies must be a normal good, an inferior good, elastic, inelastic, a complement for milk, right? So we really cannot talk about elastic and inelastic because it's not, the magnitude is not given, right? The relationship is given. So it says that if there is the, it says that, Radhika's income, so her income her income, I'll denote that with Y, her income, when her income decreases, then the demand for cookies also decreases. Now, since we are dealing with income, that is, we are dealing with income elasticity of demand, right? So in income elasticity of demand, if there is a positive relationship between income and the good, since income falls, demand for a good falls, there is a positive relationship, the good is turned out to be normal good, right? So in this case, since the elasticity, the magnitude number is not given, so we cannot really say whether under normal goods it's a necessity good or a luxury good, but we can definitely say with the positive relation between the good and the income that it's a normal good. So the answer is your A. It's part 1. It's a normal good. Okay. All right. Then we come to your fourth one. If a 10% increase in income leads to a 5% decrease in the demand for a good, the income elasticity of demand equals what? And the good is dash good. Okay, so now here we have to calculate income elasticity of demand, which is given by EY. So percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. I'll denote income with Y. Okay. So it's given that 10% increase in income. So 10% increase in income leads to a 5% fall in the demand for a good. So the demand basically falls, right? So there's a negative relationship. With the increase in the income, the demand falls. So a 10% increase in income reduces the demand by 5%. Since there is a negative relationship, the answer is, with the cancellation is half. So it's negative half. And since the relationship is also negative, they are termed as these two goods. The good here is your inferior good, right? Because the income elasticity is coming out to be negative. Correct? And what's the income elasticity? It's half. So 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10. So it goes half, right? So your answer would be second. It's minus half and the good is an inferior good. So the parts were, it's half, it's a normal good, it's minus half, an inferior good, it's 2, a normal good, minus 2, a normal, minus 5, an inferior. Okay. So with this calculation, it's minus half and it's an inferior good. Okay. All right. Now we have this lengthy one, and it says, okay, first of all, I'll just read the question. Last year, Arnav bought 40 CDs when his income was 25,000. This year, his income decreased to 20,000 and he purchased 48 CDs. We can conclude that Arnav's price elasticity of demand for CDs is equal to minus 0.8. Arnav's cross price elasticity of demand for CDs is minus 8. Arnav's behavior violates the law of demand. The income elasticity of demand for CDs is minus 0.8 and CDs are a normal good. The income elasticity of demand for CDs is minus 0.8 and CDs are an inferior good. Okay, so first of all, let's just calculate and just see what the information is given. So it's given, so I'll write income here and I'll write demand for CDs here, right? So when the income was 25,000, then he bought 40 CDs and when the income decreased to 20,000, when it was now 20,000, he purchased 48 CDs. Correct? Now, since we are dealing with income and demand, we are dealing with your income elasticity of demand. Correct? So we have to calculate that. Now, since there's no percentage given here, you can actually convert this into the percentage. You can see and you can do that, right? So it's like what, just like I used this formula, it's the same thing in price elasticity of demand. Similarly, you have this here. So it's your new quantity minus your old quantity divided by your new quantity plus your old quantity divided by 2, the whole divided by your new income minus your old income divided by your new income plus old income divided by 2, right? So your new quantity is given out to be 48 minus your old one, which is 40, and then you divide that by 48 plus 40 divided by 2. Now this whole divided by your new income is 20 minus 25,000 divided by 20,000 plus 25,000 divided by 2. Correct? So then we get, I'll just solve it here. Then we get 48 minus 40 gives you 8. And then you divide that by 48 plus 40. So that's 8, and that's 4 and 4, 8. And then that's divided by 2. That gives you 44. This whole divided by, you get 5,000, actually minus 5,000 here. 20,000 minus 25,000, and then 20,000 plus 25,000 gives you 45,000 divided by 2. Now that gives you 44 is 22, 44 is 2, so that's 2, 2 2s are 4, and then that's 2 2s are 4 again, and then that's 5, and that's 0 0. So that gives you 22500. Correct? Now let's just solve this. So 8 divided by 44, then I can just take that up here, this into this, this into this, right? So I do reciprocal of this. So it would be, whatever the number is, 22,500 divided by minus 5,000, right? So cancellations, and when you will just solve this, entire, so it's 2 4s are 8, and then it goes 22. Then it's 2 and 11, and then when you will solve all this, you will get your answer as minus 0.8, right? You can check that. Okay, so since by solving this we get minus as 0.8, and since there is a negative relationship, so the answer to that would be your last one. The income elasticity of demand for CDs is minus 0.8, and CDs are an inferior good. Why inferior? Because the income elasticity of demand is coming out to be negative. As the income is decreasing, the demand for these goods, CDs, is increasing for this person. Right? So even if the income is going down, he is demanding more and more of these goods. So that's an inferior good for this person. Now that's what I was telling you in my video of income elasticity of demand, that a good that is inferior to one person may not be an inferior good for the other person. Now for me, CDs are not an inferior good, right? If my income goes down, I will not buy more of CDs. Okay? Alright? Okay. Then my last question is, an income elasticity of demand for good is minus 1.5 implies. So what does that imply basically, right? So if my income elasticity of demand is minus 1.5, what does that imply? A price of ₹1 will result in sales of 0.5 units. If income increases by 1%, demand will fall by 1.5%. If price increases by ₹1, then quantity demanded will decrease by 0.5%. If income decreases by 1%, quantity demanded will decrease by 1.5%. If price increases by 1%, quantity demanded will decrease by 1.5%. Now, since in this case it's clearly mentioned it's an income elasticity of demand, so the price thing actually we can just strike them out, right? And since it's negative, so there has to be a negative relationship between the income and your X, and that is given by your option second. So if income increases by 1%, then the demand will decrease by 1.5%. Right? That's what it means. Okay? Alright? Okay. So hope you have understood. If you have also seen my previous videos of income and cross price elasticity of demand, you have understood all two elasticities, and you have also understood these questions. Alright? Okay. See you next time. Bye-bye.